Well, hello again, and for the three or four people who've seen this, called A Voice in the Storm, I'm your host. Anyway, let's talk about the Republic for a minute, because along the lines of Great Division was the whole vaccination, mask, no vaccination, and so forth and so on. Here's the thing. Now, I'll say first of all, I think the vaccination stuff in general is good science because it's repeatable across the globe, all different locations by different people who don't know each other, and with verifiable results over and over and over again. So I accept that. However, that doesn't mean that I simply accept whatever anybody says because they have a doctorate or not necessarily. I'm more likely to listen to someone who has delved into it for decades, for years. But there are some cases where it's hard to prove, and it's hard for me to know what the thing is or what it does, in terms of the science of RNA, for instance, and all that. I have really very little clue as to what that really does or how that really happens. So here's the thing. The basis of the republic that we have tried to live in is the protection of individual rights. And when you say minority against majority, the word minority, when you use that word, minorities' rights, it divides. It waters down the idea. The idea is the defense of an individual's right, the protection of an individual's rights. So, because as soon as you take away one, you're taking away all of it. Because as an individual, you're you're the only one to decide. And when you oppress that individual and you tell them they're going to do what you say, regardless of what they think or feel, then you're taking away the rights of the individual, and the republic fails. Period. Forever. That's the way it is. I think most people don't get what the republic actually is, what the representative government actually is, why there's a hierarchy, why there are three separate branches of government, and so on, and why, most importantly, there is a constitution. And the Constitution is our representative, the sort of ultimate representative. And if we say that we're about that, but we're not really about that, then we've destroyed the republic. And that's going on right now. And the other thing is that the divisions that we have, even in regards to plague and vaccinations and masks, is a cause for huge division and violence at various points. This is not the way we. This is not the way the republic is supposed to operate. So let me be clear: you don't want to get a vaccination, you shouldn't have to. You don't want to isolate, you shouldn't have to. You don't want to wear a mask, you shouldn't have to. If you feel okay moving around, then you should be able to move around. The chances of your, giving somebody a disease because you're out in a grocery store or doing errands is, how can it, nobody knows the odds, okay? You can say, well, statistically, if everybody wears a mask and everybody's vaccinated, then after a while we get herd immunity. And if you have enough people who, this is according to what the CDC has said and the World Health Organization on occasion, that it basically takes 2 years. So if most of the people are vaccinated and so on, then the rest can be herd immunity. But I think it takes something like 85% of the people in the country and across the world being vaccinated in order for herd immunity to take place in 2 years. So that's all well and good. But because I said it or someone said it doesn't mean that I or anybody else has to just simply believe it or simply trust it. And that is part of the whole issue, isn't it? Is trust. Who do we trust? What information do we trust? How much have we really studied whatever information we're being given across social media, across mainstream media, across alternate media, across what's the phone to screen, whatever. What do we actually know? And we don't. I've realized that what I actually know, and I'm really sure of, is very little compared to the stuff that I don't know, in terms of science, technology, in terms of almost everything. A lot of times it's I there's something in my head because someone has said it. It doesn't prove that it was correct or anything else. It just someone said it. It's in my head now, and then I have to figure out whether I accept it or not. But that's my right to do. Okay, that's my individual rights under the Constitution and in this republic. That's the idea. If you take that away, then say goodbye. Say goodbye to the idea of free thinking or freedom and the individual's rights. So, individual's rights, individual's rights. That's what it's about. That's what the whole republic is based on, even though it has worked quite imperfectly. So what the fuck? Come on, think about it. That's all. You don't have to believe what I'm saying. Just think about what I'm saying and see if it makes any sense and see if it works out in your existence. Otherwise, fuck it. There's no reason for it. There's no obligation for you to believe it because I said it. Okay? So that's what I have to say for today. There's some voice in the storm. Much love and blessings.